Hey everybody, Professor Kennedy here, and welcome to Raiders Review. Let's take a look at yesterday's game against the Lions. Now there were a number of big plays and notable plays that we could talk about, but I want to take you through two that I think we can definitely take a look at and break down. I want to draw your attention to the fourth quarter go-ahead touchdown, and I want to set up the scenario and sort of take you through what the quarterback was looking for and what the play was designed to do. It's 3rd down and 9 in the fourth quarter for the go-ahead score. Now coming in this scenario, Derek knew one or two things with the cover 2 look, deep safeties. He knew that they were doubling Darren Waller, one of his favorite receivers. So his options now become from Waller, main, for a fade route. 2 becomes Hunter Renfrow on a skinny post. With a 2 deep safety look, if Waller is able to win at the line of scrimmage, he can throw a fade route to the back of the end zone with his taller receiver in spite of a safety being there. But Waller has to win with the press corner. If he doesn't want to go to Waller, he comes back to the skinny post, which should take Hunter Renfrow right there. Now I want to run the play and want you to watch Derek's eyes, his head, as he's going through his motion. He's looking at Waller. He comes off Waller now because Waller didn't win. Now he's waiting for Renfrow to come open. But that safety is now lagging in his eyesight, so he has to take his eyes off of Renfrow. When the protection breaks down, it becomes a scramble drill. The arm motion that he made to Tyrell Williams was for Williams to go back across the goal line the opposite way to sort of break up the amount of men, because you've got 5 white jerseys there and only 3 black jerseys, so you're outnumbered. But what he also sees is that Hunter Renfrow's man gets caught up in the commotion and comes open on the sideline in the end zone and throws a dart right into Hunter's chest for the go-ahead touchdown. Let's take a look at it from the end zone angle. As we started, he has to come off him because he wants to throw him now, but he's not open. Safety's drifting over into the eye of sight. Feel the pressure. He tells Tyrell Williams to go back. Can't do it. He sees Hunter Renfrow break open from the commotion, dart into his stomach, touchdown. Celebrate with your teammates. Now let's get to the last series of plays on defense. Now a lot of you guys have come up and questioned me after the game yesterday and saying, why did the Raiders call timeout when they were on a goal line? Well, there's a reason for everything. In this situation, you got to remember, the Detroit Lions were marching down the field, and they kept the same personnel on the field because they knew they were going to stress the defense. Defense could not substitute and change over. And right now, because this was a hurry-up situation, they're approaching the goal line. The Raiders go to their go-to nickel defense, which is a cover 3 look. You've got 2 linebackers, you've got 5 secondary players, and then you've got 4 defensive linemen. The Lions know this. Now, take a break. Look at the difference in the personnel. What you have to remember is from the play before, the Lions kept the exact same personnel in and lined up in this formation. The Raiders were forced to call a timeout because they had nickel up against a power running offense look. They called the timeout. Now they've got the right personnel in to defend the goal line because it's 4th and 1 on the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defensive linemen. 1, 2, 3, 4 linebackers, 2 safeties. This is goal line personnel. You stop quarterback sneaks, you stop dives, you stop all sort of running plays with this defense. That's why you call it. And that's why it was so great to call a timeout after they got down here on the goal line with only seconds left to play. Now let me say this before we start film. I've been very critical in my duties of Karl Joseph and his coverage abilities. And I said, look, I like his tenacity. I like the way he goes after and hits people in run games. But sometimes he can be a liability because he's not that tall of a safety. But I'm going to take all that back because the play he made on here won the game for the Raiders. And I am very proud of this young man because he showed tremendous resolve and tremendous courage to do what he did. So let's take a look at this play. They got timeout. They got the right personnel in. Now watch Karl Joseph. He has his eyes on his man. Both him and Eric Harris don't fall for the okie doke. And what I mean by okie doke is they're not going into the run fake. That's everyone else's responsibility. Number 82 is his man. He's taller than him. He's not falling for the run fake. Now he's staying with them. Yeah, they're a little handsy, but they're going to let it play. Eric Harris is the same way. There's nowhere for Stafford to go. Cleveland Farrell makes a great play by also getting pressure on Stafford, forcing the ball. Karl Joseph makes a tremendous play. Raiders win. So what did we learn against the Lions? Well, yeah, the defense gave up a lot of yards and a lot of points, but the offense handled their business by going out, taking advantage of turnovers, scoring touchdowns, and ultimately getting the win. The defense did well, especially in this last series. Back up against the wall, and what a way to end the game. 4th down and goal, a goal line stand. You don't get a chance to do that often in the NFL. Well, that does it for Raiders Review. I'll see you next week.